Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just thought I'd do a quick reaction to the Springbok team. Some of you may have watched yesterday my video on what sort of changes that Rassie and them could have made for the second test in Perth against Australia. And I must admit, I'm quite surprised. I didn't think they'd go for so many changes, but certainly a couple more than I expected. And in doing that, they sort of kept the promise of expanding the depth, putting their faith in a lot of younger players, and yeah, now some of these players have to sink or swim. I think, yeah, Dwayne Vermeulen's thing on Monday where he said, we're going to put all 33 squad members, they're all going to get a chance. Pretty much signified by this 10 changes, one positional change, so 11 changes in total in the starting lineup, and then another one in the bench where Mani Lubbock comes in. I'm going to go through them now and just give some thoughts on that, and just obviously discussing what I discussed yesterday in the video before the announcement, and just how I think things have changed there. Of course, you're welcome to leave comments and tell me where you think the thought patterns are, yeah, and what Rassie's trying to do. But these are my thoughts. Let me know if you agree or not. It's always good to hear your thoughts as well. Um, so let's get into it. Let's get up straight up with the with the squad. Let's take it straight up. Here's the team. Uh, we look at that. Let's start in the pack. Ruan Nokia getting his start at 5. He, of course, only played against Wales in Bloemfontein in 2022. So that's quite an interesting one that they're going to give him. It's his second cap. He's partnering Salman Marat, who captained the team against Portugal. Certainly seen as a future captain for the Springboks, and they're giving him that responsibility again. Of course, the most significant changes coming in the front row. Jan-Hendrik Wessels getting his start at loosehead prop. He made his debut against Portugal, as did Johan Grobler. Jan-Hendrik was on the bench on that day, but him and Grobby's part of 5 Bulls players in that pack, which is quite interesting as well. Grobby's certainly deserves a start. He's seen as the number 3 hooker at the moment. Jan-Hendrik they see as the swinger. There was some talk of him perhaps being played at hooker. I must admit, I was quite surprised at that. I thought they might give Gerard Steenekamp a start and put Jan-Hendrik on the bench there. But when you get to the bench, you see exactly how they've sort of provided cover for that. So a very young front row. Thomas du Toit, maybe not so young, but the experienced part of that. And he also played in Bloemfontein alongside Johan Grobler. And certainly they all put in some good performances in Bloemfontein. It was Portugal. Got to keep that in mind. Australia is going to be better, and especially we expect Australia to bolster up their front row. We expect somebody like James Slipper to probably be there. The jury's still out if Taniela Tupou is going to be there. So, but there's certainly going to be a stronger Wallaby pack. They're going to look to shore up that pack of theirs and try not to have the same scrum performance. And they probably see this squad and think, well, it's not as imposing as the first choice, the 2 front rows they played on Saturday in Brisbane, but still a very, very exciting young front row, and one that will be tested. And with 2 young locks behind them, between them, I mean, Salman's got 5 or 6 caps. Ron's getting his second cap. It's a very inexperienced tight 5 they're going into that. But that's what they want. They want to blood them against top-class opposition. Australia, they feel they've already got the 1 win in the bag, the 5 points in the bag for the first game, so they feel they can experiment a bit. They'll feel confident in the quality of these guys. And a lot of these guys in this tight 5 have been serial performers in the URC. Marco van Staden comes in. He, of course, didn't get much game time in Brisbane, was on the field for a couple of minutes before he got that yellow card. So feel a bit for him. He'll get a start. Pieter-Steph goes back to 7. That's quite interesting. I suppose, how do you ever leave Pieter-Steph du Toit out of any side you are? And as I expected, Elric Lowe to get another chance. So if you look back at the way they've done the number 8, and obviously looking for the replacement for Dwayne Vermeulen, they've had Kwako Smith play the 2 tests against Ireland. They had Evan Roos play against Wales and Portugal, and that Elric is getting 2 spots. And Jasper Wiese will be back in the 2 games against the All Blacks. So we'll have 4 different candidates for number 8. And I think by the time they go into Argentina, we might see one other. They might play somebody else as well. Maybe the likes of Pepsi Buthelezi will get another shot. Maybe there'll be Cameron Honeycomb will be back by that stage. They might bring him in. I'm not sure he's going to make it just yet. He might have to wait till the end of the year tour. But those sort of options, and they'll have given themselves a good look at several players, not only in the games but in training sessions and in the team environment where they'll know sort of what they want to do going forward. And of course, this whole selection goes back to the point that Rossi made that you want to have 30, 40 caps for players when you get to the World Cup in 2027. At least you've got a whole pack of new players with 30 to 40 caps, and you can sort of blend them in with the double World Cup winners that you have, those that are still active. And of course, 3 years is a long time. A lot of these players will say they're going to a World Cup, but we'll see the proof is in the pudding. Then in the backline, Sasha Feinberg Mngomezulu gets another start. I'm not surprised at that at all. The Boks aren't ones to throw away a player after one game. There was a thought maybe of putting him at fullback, but I think he wants to play fly off, and they see him as a fly off. So as much time as he can get there is probably a good thing. Morne van der Berg getting a start there. His second cap. That's quite a surprising one to me. I must admit, I thought maybe Grant Williams might get a start there, but obviously they see Grant Williams as more established, and they want Morne van der Berg to get another start there. So it's going to be a good test for him as well, especially because I think the Aussies will sort of target that area as well. A young halfback combination. The backline's, of course, a lot more experienced. You got the Kanye Elm coming in at 12 to partner Jesse Krill. Not normally the partnership. Normally the Kanye's played 13, but he defended extremely well when he played in the backline, and the Boks lost players against Portugal. So they feel he's very much an old hand and a great defensive organizer, and Jesse's, of course, one of the best in the world. So that midfield combination is going to be interesting to watch as well. Makazole Mapimpi coming back in. Of course, those of you who will remember in 22 in Adelaide, his game against Marika Kuribete, where Kuribete tackled him without the ball, and the subsequent sort of tiff in Sydney when the Boks won. He's definitely going to be up for that game. He's definitely going to be up for Kuribete, and they reckon. He's a good one there. And look, Makazole's never let the team down. He's still, a big dog, as Rossi would say. So, no problems with that at all. Cheslin Colby keeping his spot on the other side. Of course, Cheslin nowadays can do everything from throw in lineouts and put balls in scrums. It's good to see him as well. Apalele Fassi, great to see him get another shot as well. Vanilla Rue's been rested. And I think it wasn't surprising to see him there. He's one of those I thought would probably get a chance in this game as well. But all in all, a very young, exciting team. If you look at that, you're talking about 6 of the 8 in the forwards probably have got less than 10 caps. Oh, Thomas, sorry, 5. Thomas du Toit's on 19. So 5 of the pack are very young, very inexperienced, and this is a big test for them. I know everybody thinks they should beat Australia, but when you play a team 2 weeks in a row, they are going to be better in the second week. They will have worked out a couple of plans, and they will have changed a couple of personnel as well. So I think it's a big test for the pack, but there's no doubt in my mind that these are all talented players who could be at the next World Cup. So you might as well give them a chance now. I understand that sort of viewpoint. The backline's got a lot more sort of cover and experience, and I think those guys will help a lot as well. On the bench, then you've got a number of World Cup winners on the bench, which is very interesting as well. In fact, you've got 8 World Cup winners there, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 double World Cup winners. So a very, very experienced bench there. Of course, Malcolm Marx, Oxenche, Vincent Koch, those 3 could easily walk into any team in the world as a front row. And certainly have come onto the field in the World Cup and sort of demolished teams and turned games around, with their second half performances. Even Etzebeth, it's very difficult to see him on a bench, but he'll definitely have an impact when he comes on. Quagga Smith always has an impact off the bench when he's on the bench, as does Grant Williams. And interestingly, they've gone with 2 fly-offs on the bench, Marnie Libok and Andre Pollard. Good to see Monty get some game time. That'll be great for him. But if you look at it, Grant will cover 9 and wing, Andre will cover 10 and 12, and Monty will cover 10 and fullback. So it's going to be interesting. They've got cover on everywhere, but interesting to see them go for a 5-3 bench this time around. So that's the Bok team. It's a very exciting one. It's a very young team. It's a team that they've really sort of probably taken a couple of chances on, but I think there's a lot of us out there who are very excited at the prospect and feel that if they play the right way, you can get a lot of rewards. And if they can come out of Perth with a decent result, with a win, well, then the Boks in a strong driving seat going into the rugby championship games against New Zealand at home. Plus, they rest a number of players going into those games against New Zealand as well. They played two different teams before both World Cups in 2019 and 2023 against Australia and got the rewards for it. Backing those players is a signal of confidence, and I think you've got so much to gain if they do come off. Of course, if they don't win, yeah, there's going to be a couple of questions asked, but you've got to back the process. You've got to back expanding the depth, and you've got to give players chances in high pressure environments. That's the only way they're going to grow. It's the only way they're going to learn. So yeah, a very interesting team as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think of the team, who you think was lucky, unlucky, or should have been there. What do you like about the team? And I definitely read all the comments. But thanks for watching again. Great to chat to you, and speak soon. Cheers.